Good evening and welcome to the second of two Beyond the Front Page shows for the spring 2018 semester here at KU Community College and broadcast on Spectrum, Verizon, Fios, and the Auburn Regional Media Access, better known as ARMA, as well as WIN 89.1, the college's radio station. I'm your host, Guy Cosentino. On Friday, May 18th, the Auburn Education Foundation will hold its annual Hall of Distinction Awards at the Hilton Garden Inn in Auburn. They'll recognize 6 alumni from the Auburn schools who have made their mark on our community, the nation, or in fact the world. Joining us in the studio, as they have done from time to time, to talk about the AEF is their board chair, JANIE Hutchinson, as well as board member BLAIR, to discuss not only the Hall of Distinction, but some of the projects that they fund. Welcome both. Glad to have you back here.
We are always happy to be here.
Well, this is one of the fun events in the community. So for those who have not watched us over the last 7 years, what is the AEF?
We are a not-profit organization who we raise money to fund projects within the entire school district, mostly projects that the school board cannot fund because they have no funds.
Because you may have your work cut out for you after next week. Jeff Parazzolo will be here.
Yes.
So he's not looking forward to next week. He's already told me this. So, so how long have you been in existence?
Since 2003.
And who sits on your board?
We have 15 community members.
Many of them are teachers, former teachers in the district?
Yes.
But non-educators as well?
Yes.
Right, yes.
We try to have a balance. And we do specifically ask people to join us that may have talents that will help us in our mission.
So you've had that, and you've lucked out because you've had some guys and gals who've helped you with web design.
Yes.
Yes.
I know that's a biggie for you.
Yes.
And you have really 2 main events that you will take donations anytime.
We take donations
But you have
anytime.
Gobble and Go,
Gobble
which
and Go
is
in
in the fall, which we'll most likely we'll talk about in the fall.
In the fall.
Yes.
We'll
Are
be
you doing
back.
it again?
Yes.
We are.
And then you have this event, which is where you recognize alums from
Correct.
Auburn schools, and that is whether they went to Auburn High School, East Middle, West Middle, Central.
Yes.
Yes.
And how you do it that way. Any paid staff?
No.
It's you.
No.
It's you guys. All right, gals. All right. So the event is when?
The event is May 18th, Friday, May 18th.
And where is it being held?
The Hilton Garden Inn.
And how much does it cost to attend?
$35 a ticket. It's an hors d'oeuvre and dessert reception.
It's heavy hors d'oeuvres.
Heavy hors d'oeuvres.
Heavy hors d'oeuvres and dessert.
It's a fun night. I'm not sure I've ever missed one, but if I did, I apologize. So a fun event where you recognize those individuals. It's a cash bar. It is not an open bar. We should say that.
Correct.
So you've picked 6 this year?
Yes.
Yes, and these are all people who we have received nominations for, and our nomination form is on the website for anyone who would like to nominate someone.
Right.
So I'm going to do them in alphabetical order with, I think, one exception.
Okay.
So tell me who Kevin Corcoran of class of 72 is.
Kevin Corcoran, he is an internationally recognized speaker, executive coach, sales and marketing expert, and he helps different organizations and businesses around the world.
And in reading the bios that you provided, he's been very active in the same-sex marriage issue,
Yes.
both in California and in New York.
I think he probably, that's one of the things that I was most impressed with is his work with the LGBTQ community. And in fact, some of the recommendations that we received were from people who he has helped. And he helps Auburn youth, and then he expects them to pay it forward.
Dr. Larry Ellison, class of 71.
70s were a good year.
I was going to say, so I was going to ask you this. I see there's a group here that you go from 68 to about 73, and that's the vast majority, and then you got 2 outliers.
2 outliers, and we didn't realize
which we'll
it
get
at
to
the time, right.
in a second. But Dr. Ellison is?
Dr. Ellison is a principal at a school in Rochester, and he has just done outstanding work as a leader and connects well with the children. He's won several awards. I have letters at home from his peers and from the teachers, staff in his building who say just what an exceptional leader he is.
You attached them, and
What was there a quote there that I thought was so wonderful that our schools.
Well, it says he epitomizes what it means to be a great leader.
And the level of our success can be measured by the extent to which we have risen to the strong degree of Dr. Ellison's beliefs.
And he is still active in teaching, right?
Yes,
Correct?
yes,
Okay.
he's a principal
still
right
active.
now. Yes.
So that's part of the group, the inner
That's
group.
par-
Let me
yes.
give you one of the outliers of one of the lovely women of Cuyahoga County, and that is
Oh.
Pauline Copes-Johnson, class of 45.
5 delightful woman.
So she's a longtime advocate for Harriet
Harriet
Tubman,
Tubman.
the recognition, the legacy. She's traveled the world. She has been a very big focal point for the National Park Service,
Yes.
as well as she will get that $20 bill if she has to take it out of Treasury Secretary Mnuchin's neck at some point. So she is one of your
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The other end of the outliers, class-wise, is Kevin Murphy.
Murphy.
Class of 97. I thought this was a really interesting one. So who is Kevin Murphy?
So Kevin Murphy was well known for his swimming expertise. He won 4 All-Americas while he was swimming for Auburn High. He graduated just 2 years before our daughters graduated.
Okay.
And he's gone on to be a teacher down in North Carolina, and he has started Ocean Cure.
So he hasn't gone out of the water. He's got gills.
He's still in the water, and he's bringing his love for the water and the ocean to people who have challenges, particularly physical challenges.
So Ocean Cure works with people with disabilities, and he also works with veterans, if I
Correct.
remember correctly.
He does. He's worked with the Wounded Warriors to provide opportunities for them. Women with breast cancer, he's taken them out paddle boarding and teaching them paddle boarding. It's grown to his foundation has grown.
It's a huge event.
All up and down the East Coast.
I thought he
Autistic.
said, was it 300 volunteers or 500 volunteers?
500
Yeah.
volunteers.
And then you have Peter, and I'm assuming it's Uowski?
Peter Usowski.
Usowski.
He was
class of 73, and he has got the most interesting. In fact, I'm wondering which
Some
security.
questions for
No, in his case, I want to know what his security detail is like. So, who is he?
He has been in Auburn. He was at the dedication of the Dulles home, and
Okay.
he spoke then about the connections that different famous people from Auburn
So
had
Alan
had.
Dulles used to be the head of the CIA, and he used to live at that house on
Yes.
South Street, just around the corner from
Right.
you.
Yes.
Dr. Usowski is works in intelligence for the federal government and for the CIA,
He has always.
as always.
Has
okay.
always.
So
37 years.
So he is one of your honorees?
Yes.
And then for the first time, you're doing something a little differently, and that is in the case of Tommy Walsh, class of 68.
Yes.
Who we all know who he is, but he was an actor, dancer, choreographer, and he passed away. So this is the first time you're doing a posthumous one?
This is our first posthumous
time.
award.
So
Yes.
why?
He was nominated, and we felt he deserved a chance.
More than one
for-
nomination, and he had an early
Oh,
death.
he loved Auburn,
Yeah.
though. He
Yeah.
was an Auburn kid.
And what he did for his community, and just for him to rise to the level that he did through theater, choreography. He was nominated 9 times for a Tony Award and won it twice for outstanding choreography.
So is there a common, so a couple of years ago I thought I could find a theme in who you picked. Other than you got this group in the 70s, 60s and 70s, and then you got the 2 outliers. Is there a theme this year?
I don't
don't
think
think
so.
so.
What we
Okay.
do when we're selecting, we do try to look at different general genres that people might excel in as far as their careers, and we will look at the arts, we will look at
So
business.
last year you had educators, you had law, legal, you had science.
Right.
Right.
You had some
medical people.
You've always
yeah.
had cool nominees. So I do want to go through the
amazing.
process. You get nominations.
We receive nominations.
They're written nominations.
Okay. They are submitted to the AEF.
Correct.
And then who
There's-
reviews them?
We
There's,
have the,
there's a selection committee. It's not an easy process, let me tell you. And we have, started.
So you try to keep it to 5 or 6 or 7.
Yes.
You're,
right, 5 or
Yes.
6, 5 or
Okay.
6 typically.
Yes.
and so and I want to talk about some items you fund before we run out of time. But to attend the event, you can go on your website.
Yes.
You can buy tickets there, or you can make calls. There's phone numbers on there.
Right. The
Tickets are $35, and the money there goes. A large part of that money goes towards projects.
Funding event, funding
So,
the project.
Things that are quote unquote outside the box.
So let's talk about one that is break out the boxes. I asked you to send me your top 2 ones that you thought were fun. I think this first one is just different. Break out the boxes. What are they?
Well, they're based on, I found out, on the escape room strategy, where a group of people have to work collaboratively together and use some critical thinking in order to break out of a room in a certain
clues.
time.
They use clues to get out of there.
So these are boxes with locks on them, and you can go online and find for any subject area all the different clues.
But a teacher can also come up with their own.
A teacher can come up with
class
their
could
own.
come up with their own.
So what type of classrooms are these used for? Are these English classes? Are they science classes?
Anything.
Anything, even kindergartners could read Pete the Cat, and then they'll be asked some questions about it. They'd have to answer the question correctly in order to unlock that lock.
And they have to work in teams.
Yes.
Okay.
So they have to.
Well, the answer for Pete the Cat is always he tried. Okay, sorry. Now that I haven't read a lot of Pete the Cat.
Did he cry?
No, but he does try. Reading way too much Pete the Cat in my life right now. So that one, how much does something like that cost?
I think, well, that depended on where they got them and how much.
How many
they wanted.
Yeah,
so how many did you end up with?
We funded them. We funded, I think, 4 or 5 in the junior high school, and we funded 6, I think, at Seward Elementary. And we had one which I thought was really interesting because the chemistry teacher at the high school wanted the breakout boxes, but he ordered the material. We funded the materials.
Say he is building.
His class.
His class is building
are building, and then he's going to use it. He's got a program where he's going to share it all online.
So I would hope the next time you come on, you bring a breakout box so we can at least visualize what they are.
We will ask.
If I didn't think about it at 2 o'clock in the morning.
We will have it programmed for you.
Okay. Only if it's Pete the Cat. Another item that you did was drumming materials. So what did you buy?
We had 2 years ago. We had funded to the junior high, the teacher who is now the music teacher at the junior high school, African drums, and she had different African drum. They played with the band and they did different things. And now
she went to a conference and learned so much about all of this ethnic drumming, and she wanted to be able to widen the horizon of her music students. So we purchased those for the music department. Now it's so wonderful to know they're going to be used along with more.
So this is where I get a little confused. I would think drumming, I'm thinking music, but this is gym.
This is gym because when Shelley Connors, the gym teacher, sent us the YouTube video of kids doing it, they have the drumsticks and they are moving to the rhythm and beating on balance balls. Balance balls and overturned laundry baskets. And they've got they can really beat on anything, and they play the music, and these kids are moving around the ball, and it's really exciting.
So
they're not standing stationary.
Right. So
they're in constant
How many applications do you get for funding a year, and how many do you end up funding?
Oh gosh,
it differs.
We have 2 cycles, one in the fall, one in the spring. The fall's usually more applications, and I think perhaps because
teachers
have been working throughout the summer.
And they want it for the school year.
And
they want to know that they can have it.
Yeah.
And so how many projects do you usually fund? I know you've funded over 100. Last time we had you on here, it was over 100 plus. You've funded over $190,000.
It's now over $210,000.
210.
Now over $210,000.
So how many on average do you do a year?
We probably do anywhere between 6 to 10 a year, depending on
somewhere between $10,000 and $20,000 a year.
Yes,
right,
absolutely.
Right.
And that is chosen by again another committee, I'm assuming.
Another committee.
And so these are items that are largely funded because the district can't.
Right.
So I need to ask you a big question that has nothing to do with AEF.
Sure.
It is clearly going to be a tight budget year.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Do you see that there will be more reliance and more applications to AEF come next year? And is this type of funding what is going to be more in demand for you to do more fundraising?
I think it's been rising. It's been increasing every year. Perhaps just because our message has been delivered better. That's what we're working for. We want educators to have what they need at their disposal. Not the basics, that's the school district's job.
We have a set criteria that we have to go by, because we have had some wonderful ideas submitted, but they don't necessarily fit the criteria, or it will be something that the district should be funding because it's more their purview than ours. So we have to be careful, but I think more of them are like these breakout boxes. They were in one school, and then all of a sudden they, other teachers wanted them. So
I think that's phenomenal. The children are not sitting in seats, writing on paper, listening to a teacher, watching a screen. They're
actively
thinking
engaged
and talking and solving.
Well, when we have you on for Gobble and Go, bring one of the boxes. We do want to encourage people. This event is May 18th. It is at the Hilton Garden Inn in Auburn. Tickets are available, $35 per ticket. You can do this online. You will take donations above that, I am assuming.
And there is a place on the website for that.
And they are tax deductible.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. So our guests have been Bonnie Blair, who is a member of the board of the Auburn Education Foundation, and their president, JANIE Hutchinson. We do encourage you to think about going to that event. It is very fun. It is heavy hors d'oeuvres and desserts. On Tuesday, we'll be back with an update again on this year's Auburn Large School District budget with School Superintendent Jeff Parazola and Business Manager Lisa Green. As well, we'll have a Beyond the Front Page show featuring the Owasco Watershed Association's Ken Kudla, their new president, their past president, Jim Beckwith, as well as testing coordinator Julie Lockhart. Before we go, though, we would like to let you know that you can send us your ideas for questions for both Inside Government and Beyond the Front Page. You can do so at cozguytho@aol.com. We have about 4 more shows to go this semester. We'll be back also at the end of the semester with the Auburn School Board races, and so we encourage you to tune on that, and I believe that is Tuesday, May 1st. Before we go, though, I would like to send a birthday greeting out to a friend who turned 71 today, and he will most likely not be happy I said that. But this is Guy Cosentino for CU Community College. We want to thank you for watching. We hope you have a good night and have a great tomorrow.